Good morning, madam. Today, Kanesh and I will explain our PBT2 for Python. So, the teammates are myself, Satya, and Kanesh. Okay, firstly, I talk about the source code of this coding of the system. First, we put import uh, tkinter as tk. From tkinter import ttk, import tkinter.messagebox as messagebox, import mysql.connector for the database. So the import tkinter as tk, import the main tkinter module and assign it an alias tk for easier reference in the code. And from the tkinter import ttk, imports the ttk module from the tkinter, which provides themed widgets that have more modern and appealing look. Import tkinter.messagebox as messagebox, imports the messagebox module from tkinter, which provides functions for displaying various type of message boxes, where you will see in the coding. Import MySQL connection imports the MySQL connector module, which is a Python MySQL library for connecting to the MySQL database. These modules allow the code to establish connection to the MySQL database, to execute SQL queries and fetch results. So as you can see, the database for MySQL.connector connect to the local host. The user is root, the password is null, which is nothing, and the database name is order. This database created by using XAMPP. Now let me talk about the first part of the coding, which is the login section. So first login section is for the admin login. So here the user have to enter the admin username and admin password. So as you can see, there's an entered user equal to enter user dot get, which is the get method. Then enter password equal to enter entry password to get using get method. The entry user dot get method retrieves the text enter in the entry user widget, which is an instance of the entry class in the tkinter. It retrieves the username enter by the user. So, and the enter password equal to entry password dot get retrieves the text enter in the entry password widget, which is also an instance of the entry class. It retrieves the password entered by the user. And the below one is the if else statement. So that statement function check if the entered username and password match any of the predefined values of admin or staff login. If the entered username is admin and the enter password is admin, the condition enter username equal admin and enter password equal to admin evaluate true in the case the code inside if block is executed. If the if block function been activated, the login frame will be hide and logout button pack side equal to tk dot button display the logout button. Which means it will pop up the login page if the user enter the admin username and the admin password. After that, um, if the user puts staff1 username and password 1, It also open up the login page, which is login frame, and the order management frame. And if the user put stuff2 username and password2 as password, also open up the login page. If the user put if user key in other than the admin, stuff1 or stuff2, the uh, else block function will take on, which will say invalid user or password. Now I talk about the function to logout, which is def logout, and below it under management frame dot pack forget, create order frame dot pack forget, and order list frame dot pack forget, login frame dot pack logout button dot pack forget. And this part of the code define logout function, which is called when the logout button is clicked in the GUI. It is responsible for logging out the user and resetting the GUI initial login screen. So the order management frame.pack hides the order management from the GUI. This frame contains option for managing orders. Then the create order frame.pack forget hides the create order frame from the GUI. This frame is used to creating new orders. Then the order list frame pack forget is hide the order list frame from the GUI. This frame display the orders. Then the logout button pack forget hides the logout button. This button display at the bottom of the window. And the login frame pack display the login frame, which contain the username and password entry field. Okay, now I talk about this section of the code, which is function to create a new order in the database. So it starts with def create order. This section of the code define create order function, which is responsible for creating a new order in the database based on the input provided by the user. This function begins by retrieving the values entered by the user in various input fields, such as entry customer name, customer phone number, entry delivery date, package selection, recipient name, recipient phone, and recipient address. Next is perform the validation by checking if any of the required fields are empty, or if any of the fields are empty, an error message display error label create order, which will ask to please fill in all the fields. If all the text fields are filled, the function proceeds to insert the order details into the database. It's construct on SQL query using insert into, as you can see here. Statement specifying the table name, which is the orders, and the column in which of the value will be inserted. Then the cursor.execute method is then called with insert query, and values are parametered to execute the SQL statement. The changes are committed to the database using a db commit. If an error occurs during the database operation, an error message box will display using message.show error, showing a specific error message retrieved from the exception object. Here you can see error failed to create order. Okay, now I talk about this section of the coding, which is function to switch to the create order page and function to switch to the order list page. These two functions show create order page and show order list page are responsible for switching between different pages or frames in the UGUI interface of the application. The show create order function is called when the user wants to switch to the create order page. It hides the other frame, order management frame, and order list frame using pack forget method, which removes the frame from the display. Then it shows the create order frame by calling the pack method on it. This will make the create order frame visible on the screen, allowing the user to interact with the elements within that frame. Similarly, the show order list page function is called when the user wants to switch to the order list page. It hides the other frame, order management frame, and create order frame using uh, pack forget method. Then it show the order list frame by calling the pack method on it. Additionally, it calls the fetch order list function, which fetches and displays the order list from the database. This function updates the content of the order list widget with the latest order information. Now I talk about this section of the coding, which is the fetch and display the order list from the database. The fetch order list function is responsible for fetching the orders a list from the database and displaying it into the order list widget, which is typically a list box. Here how the function works. It first clear any previous data in the order list widget by calling order list delete 0tk.n. This ensures that the line list is empty before fetching and displaying the updated order list. Then it's then execute a select query, select from order the table from on the database using curse execute method. This query fetches all the orders from the order table in the database. Then the fetch order are stored in the ordered variable using the curses fetch call method. This method retrieves all the rows written by the query as a list of tuples. The function then it iterates over each order in the orders listing using for a loop. For each order, it extracts the relevant information such as order ID, customer name, customer phone, delivery date, package selection, recipient name, recipient phone, recipient address. And the function then iterates over each order in the orders list using for a loop. For each order, it extracts the relevant information such as order ID, customer name, customer phone, delivery date, package selection, recipient name, recipient phone, recipient address. It uses the insert method to insert. Uh, it uses the insert method of order list widget to add each piece of information to the list box. Each line of information is inserted as separate item in the list box. The tk.n argument ensures that each new item is added at the end of the list. After inserting all the information for the particular order, an empty line is added using enter list.insert tkn. This creates a visual separation between order and the list. Now I explain about this section of the coding, which is the function to clear the input field. This function is responsible for clearing the input field in order in order creation form. It ensures that the input fields are empty and ready for new data entry. Each entry variable uh, each entry variable corresponded to an input field in order to in the order creation form, such as entry customer name, entry customer phone, entry deliver date, entry package selection, recipient name, recipient phone, as well as recipient address. The function used delete method on each entry variable to delete the current content of the input field. Now I explain about this section of the coding, which is creating the main window. The root equal to tk.tk creates an instance of the tk class, which represent the main window of the application. This instance is assigned to the variable root, which can be used to configure and manipulate the window. Root.geometry 500 times 400 plus 10 plus 10 sets the size and position of the main window. The argument 500 times 400 plus 10 plus 10 specifies a width of 500 pixel, height of 400 pixel, and an offset of 10 pixel from the top left corner of the screen. Root title login page set the title of the main page to login page. This title will display it in the window title bar. Now let me explain this section of the coding, which is the admin login page. This part of the code creates the login page for the admin in the main window. The login page consists of several GUI elements such as labels, entry field, login button, and error labels. So the login frame equal to tk frame root creates a frame widget, which is container to hold other GUI elements. The login frame is created as a child of the root window. The label username tk.label login frame text username creates a label widget with the text username, and the login frame text username creates label 1 widget. Next, login username equal tk.label login frame text username creates a label widget with the text username. The login frame is specified as the parent widget. The label username dot packs the label username widget into the login frame to make it visible in the window. Entry username tk entry login frame contains entry widget, which is a single line text input field. The login frame is specified as the parent widget. Entry username dot packs the entry username widget into the login frame. Login button tk dot button login frame to text login command admin login creates a button widget with the text login and associate the admin login function as the command to be executed when the button is clicked. The login button packs the login button widget into the login frame. Error label tk.label login frame text and fgred creates a label widget to display error message. The initial text is set to an empty string and foreground color is set to red. Error label packs the error label widget into the login frame. Login frame packs the login frame widget into the root window, making the login page visible. Now let me explain about order management page or coding section. This part of the code creates order management page in the main window. The order management page consists of two buttons, create order and order list. The order management frame equal to tk frame creates frame widget. Order management frame as a container to hold the order management elements. It's created as a child of the root window. Create order button tk button creates a button widget with the text create order. When the button is clicked, it will execute the show create order page function. The create order button dot pack packs the create order button widget into the order management frame, making it visible in the window. Order list button order list button equal to tk button creates button widget with the text order list. When the button is clicked, it will execute the show order list page function. And when the order list button dot pack order list button will be visible in the window, and the order list button pack will make the widget, and the order list button dot pack will enable the order list button visible in the window. Okay, now I'm going to explain this section of the coding, which is frame for the create order page. So this part of the code is responsible. So this part of the code creates the frame for the create order page within the main window. The frame is called create order frame and will contain several labels and entry field to input order detail. So the create order frame equal to tk frame root creates a frame widget as a container for the element of the create order page. It is created as a child of the root window. And the label customer name tk label it creates a label widget with the text customer name. This label used to display a text description for the customer name input field. Then the label customer name dot pack will make it visible in the window. Then the entry customer name equal to tk entry create a widget which is used to input the customer name, and the entry customer name dot pack make the widget visible in the order page. The remaining of the code is similar as the previous one, the label customer name and the entry customer name. Okay, now I'm going to explain this section of the code, which is creating a combo box for the package selection. This code segment responsible for creating various user interface element within the create order frame for the create order page. The combo package selection ttk.combo box is this line creates a combo box widget named combo package selection. The ttk combo box class is used and the combo box is set a read only state. The width of the combo box is set to 55 characters to ensure all the options are visible to the user when the user select the options. The combo package selection values, here a list of values is assigned to the values property of the combo package selection combo box. This list contains various package options, each represent a string. Combo package selection pack. This line packs the combo package selection combo box widget into the create order frame, making it visible in the create order page. Then the subsequent line creates a label and entry field for the recipient name, recipient phone, and the recipient address in a similar fashion. Labels are created using tk.label class, and the entry field are created using tk.entry class. Each element is packed into the create order frame to make it visible in the create order frame package. Create button equal to tk button, tk button create order frame text create order command create order is this line creates a button widget named create button. That button has the label create order and is associated with the create order function, which will execute when the button is clicked. Then the create button pack line uh, allow it to be visible in the frame. Then the error label order equal to tk label is a label widget named error label create order is created. Initially it has no text and the foreground color is red. Then the error label create dot error dot pack make it visible in the frame. This section of the coding. So this is a frame for order list page. Order list frame equal to tk frame root. This line creates a frame named order list frame that will contain the elements of the order list page. And second is scroll bar for the order list. So scroll bar equal tk.scrollbar is a vertical scroll bar widget named scroll bar is created. This will be used to scroll through the order list. Then the scroll bar dot pack make it visible in the frame. Then the order list equal to tk.list box. This will create a list box widget name order list within the order list frame. The scroll command parameter is set to the scroll bar dot set, which means the scroll bar will control the vertical scrolling of the list box. The height and the width parameter determine the size of the list box. Then scrollbar.config means the scrollbar is configured to control the vertical scrolling of the order list box using the YV method. Then order list.pack site tk.left and fill tk.both. This one is place the order list and fetch the order buttons. Then logout button equal tk.button. This line creates a button widget named logout button with the label logout. The command parameter is set. Then logout button equal tk button is a create a widget named logout button with the label logout. The command parameter is set to the logout function, which will execute when the button is clicked. Thank you. That is all from my part. Now Kanesh will continue with the output.
Okay. Good morning, madam. My name is Kanesh, and now I'm gonna talk about and show about the output from the coding, where Satya has shown the coding and explained the coding. So once we run the file, the first thing pop out is the login page, which looks like this, where it asks for the username and password with the login button. Okay. For example, once we type the admin username and the password is admin, if it is correct, it will go to the next page, or else if enter wrong password username, it will shows invalid username or password. For example, I'll show it here. Uh, as you can see, my username is admin and my password is 123. When the password is wrong, it shows invalid username or password. Okay. Once we create a correct username and password, it'll enter to another page where it shows create order list. First of all, we're gonna click the create order button where it pop out the customer's name, phone number, delivery date, and page selection, package selections, recipient name, recipient phone, and recipient address. Once we click all these information, then only we can create order. Or else, it will show please fill in the text. For example, like this, the red color button. I mean the red color text. Then, okay, for example, I have keyed my name, my phone number, my delivery date, and the package selection, and also recipient name, phone, and also the address. Then I clicked create order. Once I click create order, it will pop out a message box showing order created successfully. You can also log out from your account. Okay. After that, once you create order, the text box become empty again. This After this we can go to the order list. For example, we first must click log out. We click then I'll click our username and password. Then we can click order list to see things that we ordered. Once you click order list, okay, here this is the thing will pop up. First thing is our primary key, which is the order ID, then my name, the person who ordered, the phone number, and the delivery date, package selection, recipient name, recipient phone, and recipient address. And it also will show who managed this program or the app right now, which is user admin, as you can see it down. Okay, then this is the database we created. I hope you can see, madam. Okay, we created a orders database with the orders table where we have ID. Here you can see ID, customer's name, which is my name, customer's phone number. Sorry, madam, if you can see, here is blur a bit. Then the delivery date, as you can see here. Then the recipient name and his phone number, the recipient's phone number, and also finally his address. And another thing is user, means who is accessing the account right now. And finally the package selection, which is we have for example the cake plus fresh flowers plus balloons plus chocolate and more. That's all from me, madam. Thank you.